General Hospital. Michael's new darkness shifts the balance in Port Charles. Something has changed in Port Charles. The man who once embodied the perfect blend of charm and morality has begun to unravel into someone unrecognizable, calculating, unflinching, and driven by a dangerous clarity. Michael, the beloved son of Carly and adopted son of mob kingpin Sonny Corinthos, has stepped out of the shadow of his legacy and into a new role that threatens to upend the lives of those closest to him. In the wake of his recent injuries and an increasingly tangled web of betrayals, Michael's transformation is no longer a subplot. It's the storm circling over Port Charles. Since returning home after recovering from severe burns, Michael is not the same man. Whatever empathy he once led with has been repurposed, weaponized into a sharp edge he now turns on friend and foe alike. Where there was once diplomacy, there is now confrontation. And where there was once forgiveness, there is retribution. This shift is not simply a surface-level adjustment, it is a full-scale recalibration of who Michael Corinthos is and what he stands for. And that shift is forcing every character in his orbit to take cover or prepare to strike. His newfound ferocity was on full display during a heated encounter with Willow, the woman who once stood beside him through grief, love, and chaos. But those days appear to be gone. When Willow humiliated their son Wiley by the pool, perhaps unaware of the depth of the damage she inflicted, Michael reached a breaking point. He didn't shout. He didn't plead. He acted. Coldly and with a precision that felt eerily familiar to longtime viewers who remember Sonny at his most calculating. Without a trace of hesitation, Michael enlisted Diane Miller to petition the court and push Wiley's visitation hearing out to October. It was a move designed not just to buy time but to wield control, to put Willow on notice that her actions will have consequences, even if they come from the father of her children. For viewers accustomed to seeing Michael as the moral compass of Port Charles, the shift has been jarring. But for others, it's long overdue. The Michael who once quietly endured betrayal, who sacrificed and bent to protect peace, has now embraced a hardline philosophy. He no longer turns the other cheek. He strikes back. And this development hasn't just played well on screen, it's ignited social media. Fans are divided, but many are captivated. The consensus among a growing base of viewers is that this version of Michael, portrayed by Rory Gibson, offers depth the character has long lacked. His decisions no longer come from indecision or inherited virtue, but from a place of lived pain and evolved purpose. This transformation hasn't occurred in a vacuum. The fire that nearly claimed his life acted as a crucible. It burned away illusions, sentiments, and perhaps even hope. In their place, a new Michael has emerged, one not afraid to court the darker shades of his bloodline. After all, he is Sonny's son. And while he once resisted the gravitational pull of that legacy, it now seems he is drawing power from it. He doesn't just want to protect his family. He wants to control the narrative, define the terms, and eliminate anyone who threatens their safety or his authority. And that authority is now being directly challenged. Drew Kane, ever the noble rival, has made it clear that he has no intention of backing down. His loyalty to Willow, perhaps misguided, perhaps noble, has painted a target on his back. Michael no longer views Drew as an uncle or an ally. He sees him as a threat, a man willing to bend Willow's perception against the best interests of Wiley. And if that means declaring war on Drew, then so be it. For Michael, the battlefield is no longer theoretical. It is courtrooms, private confrontations, and carefully placed legal maneuvers. He will not relent. Not now. Meanwhile, Willow is unraveling. Her once gentle demeanor is now brittle under the weight of Michael's unrelenting judgment. She never imagined he would use the courts against her, or that the father of her children would become her adversary in a war she can't quite define. She still sees the man she loved. But that man no longer sees her. Or perhaps worse, he sees her clearly now and doesn't like what he sees. The next 2 weeks in Port Charles are set to escalate this domestic Cold War into something explosive. With Michael leaning into his darker instincts, Willow scrambling to hold on to her maternal rights, and Drew bracing for open conflict, no one is safe from the fallout. And the people of Port Charles are watching closely. Diane Miller has already begun maneuvering behind the scenes. Carly, once Michael's fiercest ally, is growing increasingly uneasy. Even Sunny, who has always claimed to want a different life for Michael, is watching this transformation with quiet, conflicted awe. But what makes this storyline particularly compelling is not simply that Michael has changed. It's that the change has permanence. There is no indication that this is a phase or a momentary lapse in judgment. The writers have committed to reshaping Michael into a character who can move with the same strategic brilliance as Sunny, the same ruthless efficiency as Jason, and the same emotional ambiguity as Carly. He is no longer the moral foil to their schemes. He is becoming something else entirely, a new kind of power in Port Charles. One that smiles less, trusts less, and plays by a different set of rules. The implications are vast. If Michael's darkness continues to grow unchecked, he may become the very thing he once fought against. But therein lies the brilliance of this evolution. The show no longer positions Michael as the angel on anyone's shoulder. Instead, he is becoming the architect of his own legacy. One paved in both justice and vengeance. And while his heart still beats for Wiley and Amelia, it's unclear how long that love will protect him from the consequences of the war he's about to ignite. What comes next could redefine General Hospital for years. Michael's warpath intersects with multiple storylines: Sunny's potential downfall, Carly's strained loyalty, Drew's unraveling composure, and Willow's desperate resilience. And then there's Sidwell's looming announcement. An unknown factor that could tip the scales in ways no one sees coming. If Sidwell's truth collides with Michael's revenge arc, we may witness a full-blown character implosion or, perhaps, a coronation of a new anti-hero. One thing is certain, Port Charles has never seen a Michael like this. And whether viewers love him or fear him, they can't look away. Stay tuned. The storm isn't coming. It's already here. And its name is Michael Corinthos.